aficionados, my name is Henning Pauli and today I have the honor of presenting you with a DryBell pedal. I've heard of this company for a few years and it never really had any relationship with them. And then the nice owner approached me at Guitar Summit and said, hey, do my pedals. Okay, we found a deal. He sent me the pedals and now I'm doing his pedals. Didn't really know what to expect. Rather higher price range. So I'm expecting fine things. And from my few minutes with the Unit67, that's what we're getting. It's going to be a journey into subtlety. Because this is not for the kid that expects to spend 50 bucks on a pedal, step on it, and everything changes. This is your always on pedal because it subtly enhances subtleties. But before it can do that, we got to take it out of the box, and that's what that looks like. Okay, let's shoot some product shots and put some sounds on it so you can already hear it. Okay, we're gonna forego the noodling today because this is, I mean, I would have to turn it on and off and on and off and off while I play so you can hear the differences because this isn't an overdrive, but it kind of is. It isn't a compressor, but it kind of is. So let's look at what it actually is. That's what it is. I like the form factor. It's, I mean, if you look at my hand, it's a standard pedal size, but a bit smaller actually, more like maybe an MXR pedal. And they packed a lot in here. Essentially, we are dealing with a clean boost. When you are, and I love the user interface here. There's a very detailed explanation manual. Whew, I might need coffee. Very detailed user manual. The lightning means unity gain. So here, no boosting is happening. Also meaning you can go less into the amp than the guitar would actually output, which with this guitar is actually maybe necessary because it's got quite a bit of output. So I can actually get it cleaner than the guitar itself would allow. And then you can boost by dBs. I mean, I could read that to you, but please, for that kind of stuff, go to the website. It's, who cares? X amount of dBs, loads of dBs. When everything's on over 40 dB, who cares? Because you gotta listen, and that obviously depends on your amp and how it reacts in the whole system. So it adds loads of dBs. That's what that big thing does, which you technically can also operate with the foot on your pedal board if you so wanted to, they say. Then we have this knob, the sustain knob, and the 67 is a hint at 76, which is an 1176 compressor by Uray, or nowadays Universal Audio. And it's of course one of the most coveted studio compressors in the world. All packed with fixed attack and release parameters in one knob. And it's parallel compression. So right here, you would have a dry signal, no compression whatsoever. and over here you would have full compression. So you're mixing the compression in, which is nice because that means when you're playing, you don't feel it as much. It says sustain on the knob, and it really is exactly that. Because when you're playing, you're like, well, is it actually doing something? Because all your attack and your whole playing feels exactly the same. But then you notice once you let it ring, oh, wait a second, there is so much more fullness and sustain on the sustain part of the note. Because while you play, your actual signal is still going through. That's the benefit of parallel compression. It doesn't alter your transients. So that's what that does. And you can move your signal around a fixed threshold by going in lower or higher on the input, right? Higher on the input would move your signal above the threshold more, and therefore there's more compression, something like that. But everything that I'm saying is subtle. It's not like, whoa, can't believe so much difference. No. And then right here, 1, 0, in, out. Very nice switches, by the way. It's very clear what happens. The EQ is in or out. The range is a mid boost, reminiscent of a range master kind of a thing. So high mids, trebly a little bit, really gets you into the mix if you want that, or less of it, right? And then high and low, guess what they do? Exactly. Bass and treble. So it's an EQ, clean boost, compressor. In a subtle way that once you start playing with it, you will likely want to keep it on because turning it off is just no fun anymore. Because when you play with an overdriven amp, that amp gives you drive, yes. That amp gives you sustain. It gives you all these fun things to play with. It's more fun to play with an overdriven amp because the sustain keeps your notes singing and sitting there. With a clean amp, you have to fight, and it's a lot harder, which is why you either have a very, very high-end guitar and a very, very high-end amp that together kind of compress naturally, or use a compressor, or use the Unit67, which kind of is a combination of everything. Let me demonstrate. I've got this Friedman Cali, I think that's what it's called. Yep. Brand spanking new, came in today. Locking tune. Thank you, Leslie. Locking tuners, even though it's got a locking nut, that's how it's done. Floyd, 1 volume, 2 pickups, 3 position switch, and sparkle. It's a nice guitar. Here it is going into the Tone King Imperial. So with unity gain, the lightning symbol, let's explore the sustain. So you really can hear it only on the very sustain part, right? Of course, we can tweak that. You can clearly hear that your sustain will be louder, therefore everything's going to sound fuller, but the attacks are still retained. That high input is too high right now. It's actually pushing everything down. I have it too much non-parallel. And now we're starting to boost a bit. Go in the middle here. Now, even with the boost higher, you can clearly hear that there is a lot more fullness and sustain. It is a subtle effect. Again, it is for the connoisseur. This is not a freaking metal zone. So let's bring in loads of boost. It's still the amp, it's thicker, it's more of that imperial, and of course we're going to go into other amps as well. It doesn't impose itself in any way on the sound, it's still the guitar and the amp, just thicker and more of it. So you can also, let's see right here, we got a little bit edge break up, so we can actually go less. Which is nice if your amp is actually driving too early, you can feed it less. Let's kick in the EQ. Of course, with more mids, it's driving in the mids because the guitar is all in the exactly mid. Now I'm pushing everything too hard because I'm cranking the shit out of it. I love that range knob. It really adds just the right mid. Nice, really nice with that amp. Let's go into the Fryette Deliverance. So be careful with how much you're boosting, because sometimes you're overloading the shit that you're going into. I'm going through the MP switcher, which sometimes can't handle really big ass boosts, which this is. So I gotta be careful with how much I'm pushing, because otherwise you're getting undesirable top endy stuff. But we can clearly hear that in that Fryette. It's doing its job. Let's go into the Friedman Plex. Well, how is that set up? Let's find out. Amp is already compressing quite a bit, so the effects are less noticeable. But that also means, how is it going to work in the JCM 800? Okay. definitely boosts it nicely into more, and as you can see, also less. This isn't an easy pedal to review or to present because the things are subtle and felt, and I don't know how audible they are. Again, this is a subtle, high-end pedal for the guy that wants an always-on thickener, slightly more boostier and sustainier. We also have the Bombshell Overdrive, which is a Dumble type amp. Juicy! This is it, the Unit 67 by DryBell. It does beautiful things. It's not like hitting a DS1 and your sound changes dramatically. It is the sound of your guitar, it is the sound of your amp. It doesn't get in the way and just adds more sustain and pushes the sound of your guitar harder into your amp. So if you're a purist who wants the sound of your guitar into your amp, but you want more of it and you want more sustain, but you don't really want the pedal to actually be heard other than that, I think your money is well spent with the Unit 67 by DryBell from Croatia, made in Croatia. Other than that, to experience it, I really think this is something to order, experience. If you think it doesn't do what you want it to do, send it back. If you're looking for more of this into your amp, as far as volume and length, because it does boost and sustain, and also an EQ tweak. The range really just gets you that really nice little kick into the mids. It's a very professional pedal. Again, not for the kid that looks for the new toy that changes his sound completely, but for the person that wishes there was more of this into this. That's what the Unit 67 does. Thanks for commissioning this video, DryBell. I'll put links below and animals at the end, as always.